Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger is a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee and a veteran of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Good to have you here tonight, Congressman. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is there any other way? This is the most mysterious nation, perhaps, in the world, and they seem to be ramping for a fight. Is there another way?
Well, look, I think if diplomacy is going to work, and that's our hope, because, again, the very worst case scenario is North Korea with nuclear weapons. Next to worst case is the U.S. has to take preemptive action. So the hope is that in this space over here, we can use diplomacy. The problem is diplomacy against an adversary only works with a credible threat of military backing it. Not just a threat of a credible threat, which is, look, if you cross this line, which is going to allow you to take your currently existing nuclear arsenal, by the way, and marry it to a warhead that can strike our allies or the United States, we will not let that happen. North Korea right now is sitting in the exact position we have done everything we can to prevent Iran from being, and that's where North Korea is now.
Yeah, it's such a great point, because we've spent so much time over the last several years talking about and worrying about Iran, which is clearly a huge threat. But then you have this, perhaps even more irrational actor who is sitting on the potential for these nuclear weapons. And he seems to be in a posture that says that eliminating some of his enemies around the world may be the only way that he gets to hang in there, right?
Yeah, and look, we have to take him at his word. When Kim Jong-un says he will strike the United States, he will use nuclear weapons against the United States, we have to take him at his word, because if we don't and he actually it, we're going to find ourselves in a very bad situation. But, the broader point is this: I did not hear, and maybe he did and I missed it, I never heard President Obama talk about the North Korean threat. And then all of a sudden he has this meeting with President-elect Trump in his office and tells him that North Korea is going to be your biggest issue. So what we're seeing now is President Trump, who's realizing that he has to defend this country, now taking action. And you have some on the left that are throwing their hands up saying, it's a warmonger. No, this is actually a president doing what's necessary to hopefully get to a solution that doesn't include a military strike in North Korea.
Right, that's a great point. I mean, that's the word that President Trump has, relayed, that President Obama said, look, this is your #1 threat, North Korea. And you raise a great question. So why didn't we hear more about it during the Obama administration, rather? Here's President Trump earlier today with Ainsley Earhardt.
You read Clinton's book, he said, oh, we made such a great peace deal and it was a joke. You look at different things over the years with President Obama, everybody has been outplayed. They've all been outplayed by this gentleman, and we'll see what happens.
So this leader's in an untenable position in many ways. I mean, is it possible that the people of North Korea, can he be toppled if enough information inflow gets to the people of North Korea?
It's possible, and we're seeing signs of instability. There are more defectors, their DVDs are getting slipped in, and people are seeing it. They understand a little more of the world out there. But I got to tell you, look, the best thing we can do is hope that the Chinese take this very seriously. And I think that's what a lot of this is compelling China to make a difference. Because, look, we cannot, President Trump will not, I have confidence, accept a North Korea with the ability to strike our allies or the United States. So that only leaves one option if diplomacy doesn't work. So let's pray tonight that diplomacy works. But it can only work when backed with a credible military threat.
Thank you so much, Congressman Kinzinger.